Mechanicsville is a community that's south of the city of Atlanta. But right now I feel as if we're in the dark side of the shadows of the city.
So the issues that we face in the community is right now, and I'm not against affordability or homeless or anything like that. It seems like the city just want to dump all their issues into the community when it's really city of Atlanta's concern and not just Mechanicsville.
In addition to that, as neighborhoods in Midtown and downtown are revitalized and developed, a large homeless population, which once populated those areas, are now moving south into our neighborhoods.
Went around the neighborhood one Saturday morning and I counted about 10 or 11 campsites. One of the biggest campsites is 405 Cooper. And when I went in there, from a distance it looked like it's 2 or 3, but once you walk up on the property and go back in the bushes, you may see 30 to 40 more tents and stuff, and people have it set up like a city back there. So it's kind of dangerous a little bit, but I wanted to see for myself.
And so you see this homeless population under the bridges, walking throughout our neighborhoods, creating safety issues with many residents, especially women and children. So we're seeing this happen where trash is left behind, debris is left behind, people using the bathrooms.
Because at the same time you had the drug man running back and forth, delivering drugs while I was over there. So it was very, very horrible.
So when I came in 2003 as a homeowner, I realized there were potential opportunities for my office. I am a lawyer by trade, and I saw some buildings that were vacant, and I saw it as an opportunity to actually invest in the community. So I brought my law office here to Mechanicsville.
Now, why not Mechanicsville? Of course, we are right in the heart of the city, right where 20 crosses the downtown connector. We have neighboring communities such as Pittsburgh, Summerhill, Grant Park, Peoplestown, but here's Mechanicsville, pretty much in the heart. If you look at a map and you look down at it, we're pretty much the heart of the city. So why don't we have that type of growth and development?
So when I moved here in 2003, I came with my mom, who's now 80 years old. And when we came, we were really excited about the energy here in Mechanicsville. We participated in what they call a master plan meeting, where the community members and owners got together and were able to share with the city the things they wanted to see in this community. So I remember walking around a room of individuals with my neighbors and putting Post-its on all these wonderful ideas about what we wanted as a community for Mechanicsville.
I'm from an inner city neighborhood growing up in Detroit, and so for me, I saw the potential of Mechanicsville. Even though there was a large housing project in the neighborhood, we're centrally located in the downtown area, and so I saw the possibilities here.
Despite my desire to invest in the community, that was not shared across the board by other professionals, where I tried to encourage other lawyers and other businesses to come into the community. They did not see the benefit from them doing and actually investing in this community.
So while most people go on vacation and can enjoy their family, the first day I arrived home in Michigan, I got a call from one of my community members explaining that a planned homeless development was being planned for our neighborhood, and so immediately I was upset. It's the same site that was proposed for a homeless shelter maybe 10 years ago, and it was very upsetting to hear that our city council person who lives in our community proposed this without any community input.
And what we have been asking as a community is that the lion's share, the entire city of Atlanta, shoulder the responsibility of our marginalized and the least of these. We do not make light of the fact that they're important, they're part of our community, but because our community has been suffering, and unlike our neighbors who have had an opportunity to thrive, to see the benefits of all those things that we have not been able to do, we are pushing back now. We're saying we've had enough as a community.
I think the city wants to still have affordable housing solutions in the city, in the heart of the city, and unfortunately, Mechanicsville has taken the brunt of that goodwill.
So right now what I see is 60 to 65% affordable in the community. I see that the city has not made any investments in the past 20 years in the community, and I've been over 20 years. I can't even think of one development that could have been over here or the past 20 years that even help with home values, other than these 75 homes that they built over here that are kind of the 15-year lease to purchase. But you know, they don't show those on the books because those are affordable homes for people.
But what I didn't probably realize at the time is, sometimes projects can be stagnated because, certain property owners are holding property and not developing them. And then sometimes you have different municipalities holding on to properties as well, specifically Fulton County, holding on to parking lots in our neighborhood, as well as some other APS, Atlanta Public Schools, holding on to property.
Either intentionally or naively, government officials have made it a point to make Mechanicsville an area where it remains affordable. So what does that do to the people who live in Mechanicsville that bought homes as an investment? Because we all know that home ownership is how most people create wealth in their family. So it's very disheartening to see what has become of Mechanicsville as opposed to what it could have been.
Even I suffered some in that many of my clients who are high-end entertainers and musicians, they would not even come into my office because they were afraid oftentimes to come from my parking lot into my building. But I stayed the course, and 20 years later, I agreed to develop something that they could be proud of and to expand my footprint here in Mechanicsville.
Right here on this lot used to be Pryor Street Elementary School that I went to, that the Haverty's family's kids went to, that the richest family kids went to. But they tore that building down because they said it was no longer a good deal. This is the house where I grew up from the age of 1 until I left home. Wow. My brother lives here now. Every house had a family. There was not a vacant lot till maybe in the late 60s, and it was right there where the yellow house is. And they put a basketball court there. They put a slab and a basketball court, so we had somewhere to play. Up the street, they opened a neighborhood center. The school is only 2 streets over, so we walked to school every day, and it was just a blessing to be a part of such a vibrant neighborhood, a neighborhood that had family love and family value. This was a middle-class neighborhood. At the top of the hill was a department store. On Cooper and Hendricks was a grocery store, Dave's Grocery. And they had, back then, a bicycle delivery service. And of course, they had the books. So if you didn't have enough money to buy your groceries, you could charge a little bit on the books. So a community that thrived like that should not be deprived like this. So we're looking forward to the development and the energy to come back into this community so that we can continue to live a wonderful life that we had grown accustomed to living. We want more than the 2 restaurants that have been here and have strive to make this a better place. We want to have more of what we desire to have here. We want to see our redevelopment plan in action.
What should be the right now focus? How can we help Mechanicsville reach its fullest potential? Well, the city has to be very intentional as far as aiding in the growth and not aiding in the hindrance of the Mechanicsville community. There has to be a specific design. A lot of times, the city just think of these plans, and on paper they may sound like a great plan. Oh, let's create affordable housing for an area. We'll put it in Mechanicsville. Then the next project comes along. Oh, let's have affordable housing for the city. Oh, we'll put that in Mechanicsville. It doesn't appear to be, at least to me and to a number of residents, that there is a plan to balance out that in our neighborhood. So that's why we stand and fight today.